Alrighty, here we are, Nicole Popova and
Juliya.
yes, I am back sooner than later. Today we have two main goals, two missions, in fact. One, we are going to make creative videos. One of the concepts being a challenge for Miss Julia here next to me, the dancer. Not a dancer, the dancer. Okay. And what are you going to be doing that's going to be putting you outside of your comfort zone?
Yes, so today we're gonna make a video in center of Amsterdam in a very busy square because I want to be challenged of dancing in front of people who do not expect to have someone shake their ass in the middle of the street. And I feel nervous because, you know, as everyone, we're all scared of being judged or perceived as
For shaking ass.
yeah, so it's gonna be a challenge.
It is going to be a challenge, and I'm going to be here to support you, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, through every step of the way. I got you. Anywho, we can, since we have found such a little comfy place here in the corner of the store, I think we could take the opportunity to just talk about some stuff, just yap, you know, because we started talking about some stuff in the train, and I think we can go into it a bit further. The topic was mainly just, what was it? Your confidence that you have around your creative outlet, which for Julia would be dancing, and for me would be singing mainly, you know, because we do have our other creative outlets, but these are the two ones that we chose to stick by and really invest in.
Also, that's why the challenge today, as a dancer, you need to be able to dance in front of other people, and of course it sounds very duh, but it's actually quite difficult. Sometimes you need to do some crazy shit. You need to really in your head feel like the main character. You need to channel this because, you know, you always will feel like cringe, like you're doing something weird, but everything that we see on TikTok is cringe and it is weird, but we do watch it, you know, so we kind of need to channel that.
Absolutely. That seems to be a reoccurring topic. My friend Andrea also said the same thing, like we're always so worried to be judged for being cringe. Cringe culture is like the most oppressing thing for artists out there, and I completely understand that.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day we want to be accepted.
for sure.
You want your art to be accepted because your art is an extension of you, you know, at the end of the day. As an artist, you seriously need to like get over that and stop creating your art from the point of view of the consumer. Which, who said this? Doechii. Shout out Doechii, bro. Shout out Doechii. You did that, girl. When you don't feel confident in your art, it creates hesitation.
Yeah.
And then you become avoidant of this thing that is supposed to bring you so much happiness.
And freedom.
Exactly, and freedom. Keyword freedom. Yeah, well, today we are going to push those boundaries a bit. By we, I mean Julia. Maybe I will as well, guys. You know, I wanna.
You should.
Maybe I should
do an improv.
Maybe. Ooh. I'm very unfit, guys. I cannot go up the stairs.
Singing improv.
Without a mic, just.
You have a mic.
Girl.
I'll put the beat on and you just go crazy. You know, a challenge is a challenge.
But anyways, you'll do your thing though. Oh, slay. When I moved to the Netherlands, I felt like I gained superpowers. And not because I was doing anything like out of the normal. It's just because I felt the space to be me.
Yeah,
you know, without there being any expectations. There's nothing wrong with like my hometown, but like they saw me grow up, so I don't know, what I believe I can achieve is not going to be what they believe I can achieve, because they saw me living with them and eating with them and living like them, and they can never imagine that I could have a different future than the, you know, the same old that we already know what it is in my country. Go work at a bank or something.
Yeah, no, I totally agree that. I do not think that even in Uzbekistan or when I moved to Netherlands, I was living in a very small town, there as well, I was always standing out. Like I was always different. I could never belong there, and I think it was for a reason, because I did not belong there. I was meant for something a lot bigger and a lot more extra, you know, extravagant. Like even my parents always say, like, you know, you're just not meant for regular life. Thank God.
Thank God.
And I think, bro, that is something that I have felt in my soul for so long, you know. But then when I left into the real world, I kind of have to leave that version of myself behind so I can explore this other side of me that I've never. You know, I was always in school. You know, up till I finished high school, my entire life is school. My social life is in school. My social life is in school.
It's boarding.
My everything. And I was in boarding school. So when I came out, like, bro, like, everyone's first impression of me was actually their very first impression of me. Exactly. It wasn't like they saw me on Instagram before, or like we have mutual friends if they've spoken about me or so type shit. So I noticed a very big change. I mean, not very big, because I've always been a very confident person. But when I came here in specific, I could be ridiculously confident, which is also crazy, because why does confidence have to be like such a ridicule thing, you know?
I don't apologize because I never make, you know, mistakes.
Well, I think it's also because when you are in surrounding, when everyone knows you, there is a specific box that you are in, and you also expectations, and you are also, you know, you don't really realize that you're in this box. And then when you go to a place where nobody knows you, you can be anything you want, and that gives such a confidence and such a freedom to yourself.
Because for the first time, like, I was, as I said, I was always confident. I always loved myself. But I don't know, when I came here, it felt like I was finally like stretching out my body, you know?
Exactly.
Like I could go through what I needed to go through by myself, even if I didn't know how to go through it. Like, just like, but along with that comes all the responsibility of now being fully responsible for myself or anything that happens. And if I don't know how to do taxes, I need to figure that shit out, because like, you know? So I'm very grateful for the wings that I feel like were given to me when I came here, but at the same time, the net that was under me to catch me if I fell is not there. Like before, it's like anything happens, I can call my parents, you know, like if anything, I can still call my parents. They can't do shit though. I gotta figure that out by myself.
You do have a lot of friends now.
I do.
Which
thank God. We're also talking about, like, you know, the struggles, right? I already explained to my audience what kind of struggles I be having in the music industry. And like, what comes to mind when you think about obstacles in your career?
Oh, in dance industry, there's so many. Even honestly, yesterday I had a breakdown because I did not go through the audition of the school that I really wanted to go to.
Yeah, that's really painful.
So, and I think that's very weird. Like, I did not accept that I wouldn't get through. Like, even, I'm not sure if that's my confidence or like...
Girl, literally same. Literally same.
So,
and the same thing with like what I told you about the jazz thing. I was so sure about it. And I started telling everyone that I was going to do it and stuff like that, you know. And then, but I think initially, I always also have that reaction. So I completely understand, and you fully have all the rights to like have a little breakdown first because you really did. But I think that's how you get things, guys. I think that's how you manifest things. Just act like it has already happened because you deserve it, type shit. But if it doesn't happen, there's this analogy that I saw, like, if you need to catch the bus to your success and you missed the bus but you still ran, that means that wasn't your bus.
Okay, I'm really trying to channel that energy right now.
You know, whatever is for you will not pass you by. You heard that? Whatever is for you will not pass you by. So every failure, every setback, it's either for you to learn, it's either because the universe is protecting you from something worse, you know, or you're not ready. That's the other thing. The other thing that I kind of started trying to become more aware of is sometimes the opportunities that come my way, if I don't get them, maybe I was not ready for it. You know, even for like that competition with the Italian, whatever the fuck. At first it hurt me because I was like, I'm confident,
For sure,
you know? But then afterwards, I was like, maybe this is not my competition. You know, like Bo, One Direction, and all these people that have their bands and their, you know, it wasn't just one time. They didn't just try one time. But obviously, they're only gonna put it on TV one time and say that that was their success story. You know, for example, this is something really crazy. When I was back home, a lot of people kind of projected onto me that they only believe that these people that were very famous musicians and like Chris Brown and stuff like that, they always, when you say you want to be a singer, they always put you up to that standard. To these Americans that have nothing to do with you. And that kind of puts this thing in your head if you're an African and you're living in Africa, country like Mozambique that is not given that much like media coverage, it kind of gives you the idea of like, okay, they don't really care about us because we're Africans. You know, you gotta be black and born in the US. And that's not true, because Tory Lanez is from Curacao. Jay-Z is like fucking Nigerian or something like that. Like all of these, they all have African roots at the end of the day. You know, and we're thinking that we can't do that because we are not born there. We just need to go there. Literally. And that's how I felt when I came to the Netherlands. My dreams as a musician for the first time felt real. Because before it was just a backup plan. And when I came here, I was like, okay, if I treat it like a plan B, it is gonna be a plan B. So I gotta treat it as a plan A. You feel me? And that was such a very big realization for me. And I was like, oh my God, like, we do it to ourselves, but it's not our fault at the same time because we don't see the representation. Exactly. And there are even Mozambican artists that are very big, but they never talk about being Mozambican because that's never going to help them. You know?
That's crazy.
But that is really crazy. I believe.
Juliya.
But the dancer. Professional dancer, her rates are 50 million euros per 15 minutes of choreographing, and then you still have to pay for her transport or accommodation, the performance itself, the costuming, which she just does not wear anything outside of Moroccan silk, the expensive type.
Hi. Oh, maybe you should.
Juliya was eating it up and attracted more dancers into the spotlight.
I'm coming, but I don't wanna deal with that now. They come right back. They come right back. Ooh, they come right back. They come right back. Ooh, they come right.
Okay, guys, so the camera died.
Yeah.
And yeah, super. How did you feel about the interaction?
It was actually like so much less scary than I thought. Because first, when you start, you are kind of aware that everyone is looking at you, but then you're like, oh, that's actually nice. I love that everyone is looking at me. That's also why I love dancing, because I love the attention.
Exactly, and the expression on their faces were always of admiration, you know?
Exactly. They really loved it. Some even started filming, and then someone joined. Like, there's another guy who came up to us, and he was like, are you a dancer? I'm also a dancer. We did like a little freestyle together. It was very cool.
It was very cool.
Need to do more, for sure.
Absolutely. I noticed that definitely when we do these kind of things, we always attract
For sure.
these kind of people.
Yeah, amazing experience. I recommend everyone get out of your comfort zone, do something crazy. You will feel amazing, empowered afterwards, and it helps you grow as an artist because we have to perform.
Amen. Into
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. We've come to an end. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. I'll leave everyone's tags down below. And let's appreciate Amsterdam. Let's leave. Bye.